Hi everybody, I'm Tabitha and today we are finally checking in on my quarter 1 progress. Yes, I'm aware it's May. So today is going to be all about checking on the kind of progress that I made in quarter 1, but it's also about not only the accountability of telling you what I got through, but having this done so that at quarter 2 I can compare quarter 2 to quarter 1 and so on. You kind of get the idea. But I have to remember that my focus is always going to be narrowing back in on what my goals were for 2021. So, as a reminder to me and you, here were my 2021 goals. That's what I'm going to be looking at. So let's kind of zoom in on zero drafts. Well, it's just writing, isn't it? I mean, really? So what I did was I took a look at how many words I actually wrote each month in the first 3 months of the year, compromising that first quarter, and the graph looks like this. Obviously, March was the lowest, which I totally expected. Before I can decide if I'm happy with January and February, I think I'd like to take a look at which of those words actually added to a project. Because this graph includes book reviews, blogs, blah, 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 everything. So then I took a look at where they matched up to a project, and it looks more like this. January is blue, February is red, and March is yellow. January, the work in progress that I was working on was Frond 5. February, it switched to being the short story anthology, and obviously in March, I had trouble really focusing on any project at all. Most of my words that month went straight into the idea journal, and as it turns out, some of that turned into the Apocalypse project. So, I mean, I guess that's good. Really, I'm actually happy with it. When I see it like this and I see the words and how they related to a project, and that most of what I wrote was actually very project centered, if I ignore March, really, that's not bad. January and February, I spent time working on creative projects, and I guess I'm pretty excited about that. So, as far as progress goes on the zero drafts goal for quarter 1, I'm happy with it. I mean, I picked an anthology theme. I made big decisions about Frond 5. I was on my way to thinking about one of those new things, although I didn't formally pick that until quarter 2. So, yes, it's less words than I'm used to in a quarter. The grand total of words written in quarter 1 was 60,980, which is not a whole lot. But considering what else quarter 1 brought for me and my family, I mean, I'll take it. We're going to call it good progress. So now let's focus in on the editing and revising section of my 2021 goals. And let's look at how many chapters I edited each month during first quarter. And that looks like this. So I think this just proves something that I've said before. Like, if you're not new to this channel, I've said this before. When I'm doing the final editing pass for anything, I move a lot faster than when I'm doing initial edits. January, that huge bar on the graph there is January, and that's because I was doing the final editing pass for EmpoweringSawchett, which is available now. That's why that bar is so high. February and March, I mean, that's more typical. February and March, that's just a typical normal month. Okay, nothing about March was typical. February, anyway, was normal and typical. As for the list of things that I wanted to edit, which is, huge, I really only worked on Frond 5 edits. That's really about it. Brand new information alert. This is something none of you probably know. I've never talked about it before. So brand new information alert. Frond 5 is actually going to be short stories from the Kingdom of Frond. So it's really not part of the series in a traditional sense. It's short stories that are kind of wrapping up a lot of the little storylines and one major one, that you've asked about in relation to the entire series. So the major short story was actually the one I edited in February. It was done, and in February it got edited. You'll see Frond pop up on my second quarter stats too, because I worked on the other short stories for that later in the year. Yeah. Anyway, as for the progress on the editing goal for quarter 1, I'm happy with it. I really am. When you compare it to how much I have to do, like if you look at this full list, you compare it to how much I have to do, I didn't make enough progress. But when I think about how excited I now am for the Frond side projects, it was totally worth it. Totally, totally worth it. So I'm calling it good progress. So now let's zoom in on the publishing section of my 2021 goals. Sometimes I think about what my 2021 is bringing in our personal lives, and I wonder what in the world ever made me think that I was going to get 2 books published in 2021. And then I remember how much I love these 2 projects, and it kind of gets me back on track. I mean, I can do this, and I love these 2 projects, and I want to see them out and available. Anyway, EmpoweringSawchett, which is one of those 2 projects, The final editing pass happened in January. Cover reveal happened in February or maybe March. I don't know. It all ran together. ARCs went out in April. It was published May 4th. It is available now. Go get it. The link's in the description. If you need the full series and you want, a deal or whatever, send me a message. You follow me. Tell me you follow me. Tell me what deal you're looking for. Maybe we can work something out because it is a 4-book series. I get it. That's a lot. Really, I am incredibly proud of Empowering Sawchett. It is the book that the Kingdom of Fran was always moving towards. I talk a lot about how I wanted to twist tropes in Breaking Iselda. Like, I wanted to explore what happened if you chose the toxic option of a love triangle in Breaking Iselda. I wanted to do that. I wanted to take that found family trope and just heighten it with Redeeming Jordan. I wanted to take the series past where most dystopian series would end with Training Tutor. But ultimately, this whole series was building to Empowering Sawchett. Sometimes, even in dystopian books, you just can't save everything. This book explores that concept in a way that I always knew I wanted to explore it. And that's just really cool. It deals with the politics of their kingdom and which parts they truly still believe in. It deals with our youngest queen and who she really is deep, deep down. It deals with inequality in their system for the first time in this series. I'm biased, I admit that, but really, you guys, this book is just good. The other book on my publishing goals for 2021 is the Magical YA, which of course is not the actual title. Beta feedback started coming in January. It wrapped up in March. I mean, we're all moving a little slower this year. I have it. Final editing is going to be happening pretty quick here, really shortly. Cover design is already underway. Basically, we're rolling on this one. We're making good progress. It's looking good. I'm excited. So, progress on the publishing goal in Q1. Boom! I would say we are more on track for this goal than any other one because Empowering Sawchett is available now. All right, so now let's zoom in on that year-long goals portion. I can talk about my reading all day. I'll try not to. Let's just hit the highlights, yeah? So I talk about how many books I read all the time. January it was 10, February was 10, March it was 9, just so you know. But that doesn't tell the full story because, page count can vary wildly from book to book. So let's just look at pages, yeah? This is relatively typical for me. It really is. I'm usually hovering right around 3,000 pages a month. March was obviously a little lower, but really it's not that bad. It's not that far behind. Grand total of pages read in Q1, 10,178, which puts my average per month at about 3,300, and I am happy with that. I do get asked literally all the time where my books come from, so here's that breakdown for you in goal form here. January blue, February red, March is yellow. This is only for the books I actually read in the quarter. So basically, if I went to the store and bought 10, but I haven't read them yet, they're not on this graph. You might be shocked to see purchases pop out on top for 2 months in a row. The book wheel has actually helped me start reading the books that I bought that were sitting on the shelf that I hadn't read, which is really great because I think my husband was going nuts knowing that I kept buying them and I was never reading them. So the book wheel is really helping with that, I think. I think it's also fun. Let's look at the formats of the books I read, which again is a common question that I get asked. January blue, February red, March yellow. So it looks like mostly paperbacks this time around. Again, thank you, book wheel. I do have a decent amount of other ones as well. Ebooks is pretty high up there. In January, an audiobook stays at a pretty constant right around 2 a month, and that's because I check out audiobooks from my library completely for free. Doesn't cost me anything. There's a little nod at my library. I should note that I lump hardcover and paperback together. It's just physical books, whatever. I should really just say physical, and the graph shouldn't say paperback, but yeah, I'm not fixing it now, whatever. For fun, last reading thing, I swear. Let's look at the genres that I read this quarter, and it looks like this. So not a big surprise that I'm all over the place, but fantasy really did take a huge chunk out of this quarter. It's nice to see such varieties of genres on this graph, I think. Remember, this is 29 books on this graph for this quarter, so that's pretty cool to see so many of them. So as for the progress on that reading goal this quarter, the goal is to read and review 104 books, 29 books down. That's pretty good progress. Also in the year-long section, I have the goal to post 52 videos right here to this channel. First of all, I need to say this. I appreciate all of you who have stayed with me during this, let's call it a quieter time on the channel. You probably already know this, but it's worth repeating. My husband's going through some surgery and things. He was diagnosed with cancer in October, and we've been dealing with all that entails. Despite all that, we managed to get 11 videos filmed, edited, and up to this channel in quarter one. That is 21% of the total goal, which is, of course, a little under because 25% of the year and 21% of the goals. But to be honest, I actually thought we were going to be further off than that. So this is completely fixable before the year is over. Really, it is. So progress on the YouTube channel really looks like this. 11 videos down. It's not perfect, but it's coming along. Made progress on the goals, and I'm incredibly proud of what's been done so far. So really, that's about it for me. You notice probably that I didn't mention the revamp of the blog. That's because it's still all rolling around in my head and I have nothing concrete to show you. Whatever. I am happy with the progress I'm making so far in 2021, despite everything else that's going on. Sometimes it's just, it's just a struggle just to get out of bed and do things. And I have managed to do all that and more. I am so thankful for every single one of you who's here and you've subscribed to the channel and you watch these videos. I can't tell you how much joy it brings me when I see that you comment on them and you have something to say or you hit like. It just really validates that, that struggle and that push to keep doing these really matters. So thank you for being here and supporting, this crazy dream of mine that I was going to talk about books and writing and people were actually going to care. It's really cool. Every time, a new book releases and you guys buy it or new video drops and you watch it, I just feel a little more shocked that I'm getting closer to this dream of mine. And thank you for being a part of that. That's really cool. Anyway, the best I can do is do what I keep telling all of you to do at the end of every video. Just keep plotting the path to my own dreams. One step, one goal, one video at a time. So thanks for being here to check on my progress. Seriously, drop a comment to let me know you are still here because I love reading them. Hit subscribe and then tap that little bell so you know when I'm back. Keep plotting the path to your own dreams and I will see you next time. Bye!